6 weeks into the season, Josh Allen was right in the middle of the MVP race. But these past couple of weeks, there's been, well, some issues.
To somebody to uncover, and now throws, and that one looks like it's picked off.
So why has this happened? Is it just a fluke? Is it a serious issue with his game? Well, let's get into it. Let's start off with this play. I want to start off with the negatives. We will get into the positives, don't worry, because yes, there were plenty of positives to take away from this game. Believe it or not, Josh Allen is still awesome. Yes, that is very much true, but I do want to talk about the negatives first, because I think that's the more interesting thing here. So first, we're going to start off with this play. It was the, early on, it felt like, oh man, this Bills team is just going to dominate, and then all of a sudden this play happened, and it made you kind of question that, and this is part of what allowed the Bills to lose this game, where you see the concept on the field. Relatively good concept, right? You run the play action to the left, but then you roll out towards the right. If you're Josh Allen, you have two routes that can potentially work on that side of the field. There also is a tight end who's going to start off blocking on this play, but then get underneath, sort of towards the bottom right-hand corner of the the field for the offense. And watch how when Wilson takes the snap, he runs the play action, and it's that tight end right there who started off blocking, now has a bit of a window. I have to say, this middle read looks like there's a chance you can make the throw. It'd be tough. I wouldn't hate Allen at all if he just threw the ball away. I think that I could totally understand why he might consider doing that. But in this situation, here's what I think happens. Here's what I think went wrong. This is a guess, but this is what I think happens. Is you look at Josh Allen, I can't tell exactly, even on the other angle, I couldn't tell exactly where he's looking. It looks like he is looking further down the field. And I think that he just sort of saw this out of his peripherals. You kind of see how it looks like it could be open. It just never really got a good look at it, and kind of just, is mostly focused down the field and almost no look this one. Because as you see, the receiver coasts back, whereas the defensive back does not. And Josh Allen basically just, throws the ball directly to the other team. So these are the plays that you just have to cut out. And the reality is, I'm not expecting Josh Allen to cut these plays out. This is a part of what Josh Allen does. It's a part of what makes him great. I think that typically a lot of people say, oh, this quarterback has to stop doing what they're bad at. Quarterbacks tend to still be who they are when they're in their 4th season in the NFL. Obviously, Josh Allen more than makes up for it with his good traits. Nobody's even going to question that, but there are still some negatives. Also, in his 5th season, not 4th season, but, same idea. This one was the other interception, which is, I would say, half explainable and then half unexplainable. Half you can forgive, half not so much. So the way this play concept works is that I believe this is what the play is supposed to be. It's a zone coverage play. I mean, that part I know. And then you see a receiver who's, I believe that's the route he's supposed to run. He's going to run the wrong route, or Josh Allen thinks it's a different route, one of the two. Watch how when this play begins, you're going to see right here. So, okay, Sauce Gardner, the elite cornerback for the Jets. I mean, this guy's been amazing as a rookie. He's been unreal. So he's staying further deep. This is kind of what he's supposed to do. I mean, yes, there is someone underneath, but you have another Jets player who's focused on the guy underneath. So, well, yes, Sauce Gardner is kind of releasing the receiver he was covering now. He's still going to stay further deep because he has no one else he has to cover. So for Josh Allen, you should be aware of this. You should know that Sauce Gardner is very much in position to, if you make a throw, he could potentially jump in front of it. Josh Allen makes this throw, and, it's basically right to Gardner. Now, again, Gabe Davis was not on the same page, so maybe he would have been there in position to at least knock it away, play some defense as a receiver and not allow it to be an interception. So I'm assuming that made it worse. It certainly made it look worse when you watch the broadcast footage and it looks like he's throwing to nobody. But, it's a miscommunication, but it's a bad throw anyways. Sometimes people say, it was a miscommunication, so who cares? No, this is a bad play. As for some of the other negatives for the Bills, this is I think a notable one. I do think this is a notable one. Is I just feel like their secondary receivers aren't terrible. They're not bad by any means, but early on in the season, it felt like, oh man, these guys are playing at an elite level. These guys are fantastic. It has not been that. Listen, Stephon Diggs is awesome. We all know Stephon Diggs is awesome. He's a great number one. But then it's like, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, these guys are, they're doing things. They're not playing poorly necessarily. Khalil Shakir has done some nice things, but none of these guys have come on and really been a great number two, in my opinion. And so that leaves you doing plays like this, where it's actually going to be designed to get your halfback the football. This is the main route, and I actually don't hate this concept. It's a one-on-one matchup on the outside with your halfback. You're getting a linebacker having to cover that. And the reality is, the Bills still do hit on this stuff a pretty decent chunk. So it's like, I'm saying like they haven't been great. I'm comparing them to like the Bengals, who have like this elite receiving core. The receiving core hasn't been elite. It still is solid. Again, I don't want to make it seem like I hate the Bills, but these are kind of the issues sometimes that arise is stuff like this. Allen takes the snap. You're going to see that as he waits for it to develop, there's a bit of a window. There is a bit of a window. Josh Allen's just throw it's just going to be a bit too far there. And that's not to say that Allen is inaccurate or something. No, his accuracy has been great ever since his third season onwards. It's more so, in my opinion, about kind of both. Allen needed to make a perfect throw on that one, and that's just a tough situation for a quarterback. Even a great one like Josh Allen is putting him in a position where you have to make these great throws. You would like to be in a situation where the window was just a little bit easier. That's kind of my main point on showing that play. And I do want to sit here and say there have been opportunities where that did happen. Like jumping over to this play, this is a great example of, this was that, I believe it was the first play of the game. It was at least one of the first couple plays of the game where, again, there was that horrible kickoff, which was hilarious. And then you have, in this situation, it's Stephon Diggs running a deep route against Sauce Gardner, actually. And look, Josh Allen going to run a play action. You're going to see Diggs, really just get Gardner completely out of position. That's a great play by Diggs and an uncharacteristic play by Gardner. And as you see, Allen's not going to miss that throw. Definitely not. If it's that open, he's hitting it. They're able to pick up a big chunk play right there. So, again, these things are hitting. There still is plenty of positives to take away from this game. Absolutely. In fact, one of my favorite was a running play. Like something like this, I almost feel like I forget that Josh Allen is also like this elite runner, because that's not fair. He shouldn't be able to be an elite runner. He shouldn't be able to be as big as he is and move as well as he does. Okay, fine. You have the big arm talent. That should be all you get. You shouldn't be able to get you shouldn't be able to check off every single box, but he does. This play, again, you just have the blocks to the left, because for the Jets here, they're saying there's only one eligible receiver on that side of the field, and it's a tight end. We don't have to worry too much about that side of the ball, right? Well, when this play begins, because of the fact that there was not much attention there, Josh Allen is able to scramble, and he actually runs past one of his offensive linemen. I think he felt like the offensive lineman, if he decided to wait for that offensive lineman, yes, he gets a block, but he probably gets tackled from behind. So I think this was the correct play by Allen to kind of leave the lineman in the dust and try and see if you can do it yourself. And look, as you see, that's exactly what he does. Makes a little move, and he is going to be able to get into the end zone for a touchdown there. So again, there still are those Josh Allen magic plays. And I think that to say that Josh Allen is a bad quarterback, or even anything short of like still playing at a top 3 quarterback season this year, would be insane. Josh Allen has turned the ball over at a relatively high rate this season. That's reasonable to say. And actually, you look at his turnover-worthy plays, it's been much higher. But the positives still outweigh the negatives. But the reality is, with Josh Allen's play style, it's probably going to result in you losing a couple games that you should win. That's just the reality of it. It's also going to result in you winning some games that you had no business winning. And for the Bills, they don't really have any of those games. They have business winning every game because of how good they are. Even if Josh Allen has a rough day, he had a bad day against Green Bay, they were able to win that game. So kind of who Josh Allen is, he has these ups, he has these downs, and Josh Allen is still Josh Allen, which is really a good thing for the Buffalo Bills. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.